Okay? Most people say small goals like, I want to pay my bills on time. I don't want to be broke. Is that really what you're striving for, to not be broke? Is that really what you're striving for, to just pay your bills on time? Instead of saying things like, I want to make enough money to be able to live off of my investments and be debt free. Does that make sense, guys? Right? I want to have whatever that amount is, $100,000 in the bank, liquid. Like big goals. If you're going to be dreaming already, you might as well dream big. Does that make sense, guys? Okay? If your dream doesn't scare you, it's probably not big enough. Here's the thing. If you want to go founder 3, don't have a goal of going founder 3. I mean, have that goal, but that should be one of your first goals. Remember, short-term, mid-term, long-term goals? So have bigger goals than just that one. Okay? Find someone who has what you want, do what they do, and you get what they have. Dreams are the tools that get you to say, I can, I will, and I must. 3 things that, now we're going to talk about the 3 things that create belief. Actually, this is not supposed to be on there. So, that's why I'm training. Okay, number 2, become an expert. If you want to go out there and you want to make a lot of money in any field, you have to become an expert. Now, that's obviously easier said than done, but here's some things that opened up my eyes a lot more when I started hearing this. First of all, an expert is someone who is in the top 1% knowledge level compared to everyone else. 10,000 hours. Studies show that 10,000 hours of applying to something, learning about something, and doing the activities helps you become an expert. So here's the thing, man. Every time that you guys are dedicating the hours to this business, coming to trainings, coming to the meetings, doing one-on-ones, talking to people, you are contributing to this 10,000 hours. Okay? So, guess what? When should we get started? Yesterday. Exactly, right? And we should take action. So, if that is, and here's the thing, guys. Here's one thing I'll tell you that you'll be pleasantly surprised. You can earn a 6-figure income in this business without becoming an expert. But I said 6 figures, right? 7 figures is a different story. Here's the thing. Some people can go out there and make a 7-figure income getting lucky one time and never do that again. You guys ever heard of people like that? It happens all the time. People get lucky all the time. And Jim Rohn says, seldomly will your income exceed your personal development. He says, success is something you attract by the person you become. So, right now you guys are getting your personal development. The books that you read, the people you hang out with, the trainings that you go to. Every time that you're doing meetings and MMA. Who likes MMA? Okay. How many of you guys do MMA? How many? Raise your hand if you do MMA. Okay, great. Money-making activities, right? Yeah. Okay, good. How many of you guys do money-making activities? Raise your hand. Oh, okay. Now you guys are like, oh, you threw me off, bro. Right? So, money-making activities. When you're out there doing the business, you are chipping away at the 10,000 hours that it takes for you to become an expert. Trust me, you want to shoot for becoming an expert. When you read 5 books on a subject, that's more than 99% of the people will know on that topic. Imagine if you read 5 books on the law of attraction, but you read those books with the intent to teach. You learned that stuff with the intent to teach. You took notes. You highlighted the book. You applied it. You applied the learn knowledge, activity knowledge, modeling knowledge, teaching knowledge. Who remembers those 4 types of knowledge? Okay, a couple of you guys, okay? That's why it's so important that you know those things. You need to know the 4 types of knowledge. So here's a little side note. You need to know the 4 types of knowledge, and you need to know the 4 levels of consciousness. First level of consciousness is what, guys? Anybody remember? Mm-hmm. Good job. First level of consciousness is unconscious incompetence. That's what you don't know that you don't know. Some of you guys, before you started coming to these trainings, you didn't even know about the law of attraction. When I was 18 years old, I didn't know about the law of attraction. I was unconscious incompetent. Had no idea it even existed. Didn't know what I didn't know. Does that make sense, guys? Second level is conscious incompetence. Now you realize, holy crap, this exists. But I know nothing about it. Now you're conscious that you are incompetent. Does that make sense, guys? Then the next level is conscious competence. That's where you are conscious about it, you know how to do it, but you're not an expert. That's where most people are in this business right now. Conscious competence. That's where you know what you don't know. You know that it exists. Now you're realizing I need 10,000 hours to become an expert. That's in this field or any other field. Does that make sense? Imagine if you spent 10,000 hours at a boxing gym. Would you be a pretty decent boxer? Yes. But you went and you trained with the conscious, unconscious, and competence, right? And the 4 levels of consciousness. You went and you learned with the intent to teach. Imagine that, like, dude, you're gonna teach some kids that want to become professionals. So would you be like, damn, that's a lot of pressure?
Yes.
Yes, right? So would you be like more diligent about it?
Yes.
Of course you would. Because you are learning with the intent to teach. Then the last level is unconscious competence. That's where you know how to do the stuff and you do it with your eyes closed. It's like the best example I always give is like when you barely started driving a car. You started driving a car, you had the 10 and 2, you were all nervous. Who remembers that? Okay? You were all nervous, your parallel parking sucked. Some of you guys still not that good. So I see you guys sometimes. Or like when you barely started tying your shoes. Remember when you did the bunny ears? Who did the bunny ears when they started tying their shoes? Yeah, right? Max is doing the bunny ears right now, you know what I mean? Like, come Max, I'm like, you're 5 months old, bro, get it together, you know what I mean? Like, tie your shoes, bro. By the way, this is my first baby, man. When is he gonna learn how to change it, like not use a diaper anymore? A couple months or what? Different levels? Like 7 months, 8 months? She's like, no! I'm totally joking, I told you.
About a year.
About a year? Okay, cool. So here's the thing. So $5 on any particular subject, and you know 99% more than the app than you know more than 99% of the people out there. Is that pretty good, guys?
Yeah.
See, so knowing this, doesn't that make it more powerful when we talk about reading the books? Guys, write this down when we talk about reading books. A poor person has a big TV. A rich person has a big library. See, poor people entertain themselves. Rich people educate themselves. That is one of the most realest things you're going to hear. I read a lot of books, I listen to a lot of audios, and I read a lot of blogs on successful people that have achieved success in different areas of their life. Because I love, and then here's what happens though. The improvement that you're making all the time, here's what it does. It becomes a habit. Learning and growing becomes a habit. Who was it that said that? That famous coach. What is that famous coach? No, Marty. He said, winning is a habit. Unfortunately, so is losing. Learning and growing becomes a habit. Then you can't stop it and you crave it. Learning, improving, constantly getting better will become a habit. Then before you know, you are unconsciously competent on learning, on reading books, on listening to audios. When you get there, then you start to see like exponential growth. You start seeing yourself go. You're growing like this, like the slide is, then before you start growing like this. Bam. Crazy. Here's the thing. A lot of people don't ever get there. A lot of people start like this. They get started. And then they're starting to take off. See, that's a long time. But check it out. They don't see this. You don't see that. Here's what happens. You're here and you're thinking, you look back 6 months ago, that's where I was. That's not that big of a difference, can we agree?
Yes.
But they don't see in the future because they don't have vision. Some people that they don't see in the future, if they saw themselves there, just stay the course. And that's where you're going to end up being. It's hard for them to fathom that they're going to go like this. Boom. Does that make sense? Yeah. They have no clue. But here's what happens. They don't see it, right? So when they don't see it, they start getting discouraged. And some people are so close to a breakthrough, they don't even know. But here's what happens. They start talking to negative people. They let their negative self-talk get to them. Then they start saying things like, oh man, that business doesn't work. They start questioning, I don't know if this business works. Oh no, it works. And proof of that is other human beings, that guess what? They're being successful. And those human beings breathe the same air as you do. Those human beings have blood pumping through their veins just like you do. They're around people all the time just like you are. So you're lying to yourself. You're being weak. When you start thinking, oh, you know what? No. Trust me, there's people that say that all the time. Oh, no. There's some people that will even say, man, I regret even joining that deal. And you're right. Because once you quit, you will regret it. It's cool. But it doesn't matter though. The people that are going to go, they're going to go. But that's where they end up. But here's what happens. Here's how it goes. Boom. You guys remember the slide edge? I got the book in my office right now. The updated version. The thick one. So here's the thing. There's guy A and guy B. Guy A makes daily disciplines. Guy B makes daily errors in judgment. Errors in judgment, daily disciplines. Here's what happens. Guy A says, let's go to training. Guy B says, hey man, I'll go next week. I've heard the training before. Does that make sense? Guy A says, hey, you know what? We just finished a meeting. Now they're doing a basic training. Let's think. This guy says, bro, they did a basic training last week. I'm going home. Heard it before. Heard it last week. And it's late. Does that make sense? Now keep in mind, some of you guys have family, have kids and stuff like that. We get it. But don't cheat yourself. Does that make sense? If you got like, your kids or whatever the case is that you gotta go, we gotta go sometimes. But don't go and don't cheat yourself and don't come up short because you are being guy B. Because here's the thing. Isn't it more uncomfortable to be this guy? Yeah. It's more uncomfortable to be here than it is to be at home. This guy said, I'm going to chill at home. I'm comfortable. He's on his lazy boy couch, chilling like this. Hot chocolate. You know what I'm saying? If Jersey Shore was on, this would be watching Jersey Shore. Yeah. Love this drama. These are all a bunch of broke ass people that got lucky that in 10 years are all going to be broken in bankruptcy. More than likely. Watch, mark my words. The majority. Trust me, man. Unless they start changing and doing some personal development. But if not, the average lottery winner, the majority of lottery winners end up in bankruptcy within 4 or 5 years of winning the lottery. Because they're rich in what they see in the physical, but in their mind they're still broke. They don't know what to do with the money. Then guess what? Boom, they lose it. Because you got to get rich up here as well. That's what the personal development at 10,000 hours do. You guys realize what I'm talking about? Trust me, some of you guys, like first me, I'll use me as an example. I know that my maker didn't make me make a lot of money at a certain age in my life. You know why? Because he was hooking me up. He was doing things. I said, no, bro. Here's the deal. I give you money right now. You're going to blow it. You're going to get in a bunch of trouble. Your mom is going to be very worried about you. And all these things are going to happen. I'm hooking you up. Trust me. You don't know why. Does it make sense? You're frustrated right now, JC. Well, you'll know why later. Does that make sense? But I didn't know that then. So you see, you're frustrated. Then now I know. Shoot. If I would have made that kind of money then, oh man, I would have saved a dime. I would have gotten in a lot of trouble. It happened because it was supposed to happen. But you could speed up what you want. Does that make sense, guys? You could speed it up. So then this guy makes daily disciplines, daily errors. This guy says, hey man, let's go eat, healthy. This guy says, hey man, I'm going to go buy a cheeseburger. See, here's the thing. If this guy shows up to a training and this guy doesn't, can you see a difference in that day? No, you can't see like a drastic difference. If let's say, for instance, Chris eats a salad and I eat a cheeseburger, can we see a drastic difference right now? No. And that's a slippery slope. That's where people mess up because you can't see a difference. You're not going to go down here with one of those decisions. You're not going to go up there. But every discipline and every error in judgment are all followed by a flock of their relatives. Every discipline and every error in judgment is followed by a flock of its relatives. So guess what? This guy gets in the rhythm. And this guy gets in the rhythm as well. So this guy's very comfortable. But then guess what? The time goes on. This guy gets comfortable being uncomfortable. This guy gets comfortable being comfortable. See what I'm saying? You don't see the difference when it's doing it. Then once you say, no, I won't go this week, it's easier to not go next week. I see them all the time. I see people all the time. And it never fails. There's always excuses that come along. But then guess what? You might give me an excuse. And then next time you don't make it because you had a legitimate reason. But everybody else just sees like, dude, it's just another excuse. Maybe it was a legitimate reason. But I don't believe it anymore. And me personally, I'm like, whatever. There's been people already that I'm like, I don't really care if you come back or not. You know what I'm saying? I already like stop. Period. There's people I've had conversations with, like, dude, listen, man, you blah, 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 and I try to help. I pick them up. Nope. Gotta do it on your own, man. We're here. But I don't really care. Because guess what? I got only so many hours in a day, so many calls I can make and meetings I can do for a certain amount of people. Does that make sense? So I can't be worried about the people that keep like doing this. So then guess what? Eventually this person is comfortable. Eventually they get very uncomfortable. This person, because they were outside of their comfort zone, eventually they end up very comfortable. Now, money is not an issue. Time is not an issue. Now they're very confident. Now they've got people that want to be around them. Now people look for them. Does that make sense, guys? Now they got success is something you're trying about the person you become. Now they start attracting a bunch of people that want to join their business. They look for them. How many of you guys would like for people to look for you to join your business? Guess what? You better start paying those hours. Okay? There's 4 types of knowledge. We talked about it. First one is learned knowledge. Second one, activity knowledge. Third one, modeling knowledge. Last one, teaching knowledge. You got to go through all these knowledges in order for you to go out there and achieve those things that you want to achieve. First one is learn knowledge, and that's what we're doing right now. Activity knowledge is when you go out there and you apply the stuff. Modeling knowledge is when you look at somebody else doing what they're doing and you help them adjust. They help you adjust. You go to your mentor, hey, here's what I'm doing. I did a one-on-one. Here was the result. Here's what I said. Here's what he said. Here's what I responded. Then your mentor, or in trainings, they might address it, right? And then you're modeling it. Then you fix it, you go out there and apply it, and you're modeling. Then eventually, teaching knowledge. And each one is necessary. You learn so much when you teach. How many of you guys would like to teach your team one day and have meetings all day? Some of you guys should already have started your meetings. Even if it's with 2 or 3 of your guys out of Starbucks. Doesn't matter. Start it. Does that make sense, guys? Like they used to tell me when my girl was pregnant, it's never too late, it's never too early to start talking to your baby while he's still in the belly. Well, guess what? In your business, it's never too late to start practicing your trainings. Get together with your people. 1 or 2 guys. I don't care. 1 or 2 guys. Let's do a basic training with you guys. And start modeling and doing the activity from the learn knowledge that you applied, and you start learning with the teaching knowledge. Does that make sense, guys? Doesn't matter. If you can train 1 or 2 people, how are you going to train 50 people? See what I'm saying? Get used to it. Get comfortable in that situation. Number 3, create a game plan. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. We have a game plan for you. There's a system. We talk about the system. There's a 7 absolutes. Okay? The 7-10. In your first 7 days, put me in front of 10 people. And be relentless about it. Your new people don't know what's normal and what's not normal. Okay, good, bro. Here's the deal, Jonathan. Your goal is to put me in front of 10 people in the next 10 days. So if we make a list of 100 people and we call them out, you think we can get 10 people to sit down with us? Heck yeah, we can. Thing is, I got to be the leader to make him do that. See what I'm saying? If he follows the system, why do you think it's minimum 100 names? You think you can get 10 appointments out of 100 names? Yes, but you have to be relentless. Get together with them, make them make the list within 24 hours. Get them faster at training within 24 hours. They've got their whys. Their whys will motivate them to make a 100 people list. You guys see what I'm talking about? If they treat the homework series of making their whys, they're going to be motivated enough. They got their whys, what they're willing to give up. They're motivated enough to make a list of 100 people. Or damn close, or bigger. You show them how to call that list. You assist them. Teaching knowledge, modeling knowledge, activity knowledge, teaching knowledge. You're teaching them how to do it. They make phone calls. Your job is, in the first 7 days, bro, you got to put me in front of 10 people. Now, let's say they come a little short and they put you in front of 8 people. Is that still pretty good? Yes. Is that still pretty good, guys?
Yeah.
Exactly. One of the things we're going to talk about here later on is saying, quit looking for the leader and become the leader. Dude, you got a new guy on your team. Guess what? Perfect opportunity for you to step it up. For you to step up and be a champion. For you to step up and be a leader. Why you gotta wait for somebody? If your upline's not there, you're gonna stop from training the guy. You already heard this stuff before. Go on and do it. Quit being a wimp. Be a champion. Say, step up. You know what? This guy's not available. Let's get together at the Starbucks at 12 o'clock. We're gonna get you trained. We're gonna launch your business. Be a champion. Who cares if you stumble on your words? Guess what? You're gonna first have to be bad before you can be good. So you're gonna start being bad real fast. You feel me? You gotta be bad before you can be good. Straight up. You better get the being bad out of the way. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah. How many of you guys remember going to the club when you were 18 years old? Some of you guys went earlier? I started going at 18. I remember it was terrible. I was at Wallflower. I was at the club just shut up, right? My homies used to go, like my brother was very good, man. I was a late bloomer. Dude had all kinds of girls going to the house. I was like, damn, man. It's disrespecting the house. But I was that guy. I was going to the club, not dance at all. And then my knees hurt, man. The bouncers moved more than me. Sucks, man. I ended up getting a job being a bouncer. and then, but I remember my homies used to go into the club. Remember Luis, rest in peace? Luis Rivas? Luis Rivas, by the way, was the first person I recruited into network marketing. He's the guy that made me $60 my 5th month in the business. So total of 6 months, I made $60 in that business. It was Luis Rivas. Rest in peace. Oh, he was from the Elite Bikers, by the way. So anyways, Luis and some other dude, remember John? Yeah. Luis and John, they used to get to the club, they used to go, and there's a reason why I'm telling you this, but they used to get to the club, they used to go and hit up every girl. Like, let's say this is the dance floor, they used to go hit up every girl. One dance. They wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. Then, eventually, I found them some myself from a distance, dancing, sweating. John was bald, so I used to call him sweating and stuff. And Luis Rivas was short, but I used to still find him. He used to give me. You know what I'm saying? And it used to be like let's say he was dancing, and then like the girl had a friend or something, or 2 friends, like. And I was like, I'm cool, dog. I'm tired, man. I had a long week. You got a job. It wasn't a long week. You know what I'm saying? Building my network marketing business, I made a dime. But then eventually, I said, what the hell, man? I'm going to just talk to some girls and dance, whatever, you know what I mean? They're going to tell me no. I get it. Then I started on my 18, so they said, you got to go through the nose. And I was at the club, I got to go through the nose. You got to go through the nose. I used to psych myself out. Like, if a girl told me no, oh, your girlfriend must be around here somewhere, that's why. You know what I'm saying? I used to just psych myself out, you know? But anyways, after a while, I started getting actually fairly decent. Like, I started going up. I used to enjoy, I used to just go because I didn't want to stay at home. But then I used to get there now, and every time I was like, this time I'm going to do it. This time I didn't do it. And mind you, I wasn't 21. So when I was 21 and you can drink, then that it gives you more courage, huh? You don't care. You're like, I don't even remember. But then after a while, dude, I had to get good before I was 21. So I started going up and I just started talking to girls and stuff, and I started dancing with them, and then, you know, I got good at it, right? Well, why? Because I started getting outside of my comfort zone. Same thing when I did martial arts, boxing and all that stuff. I used to hate in the beginning sparring, and then, but I like training. I'm like, dude, I gotta first go through getting beat up before I could win a world title. Does that make sense, guys? That was a long ways away. So, in both things, I put in the hours. You know what I mean? And in this business, I put in the hours. So when we're talking about this, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, set specific goals, okay? I forgot what I was going with this, but you know, whatever. You gotta first be bad, by the way, that's where I was going with this. You gotta first be bad. Can we agree with that? Yes. So, create a game plan. So, let's talk about setting specific goals. Specific time frame to achieve the goal. We talked about that. Put a date on it. Okay, don't be vague with it, okay? Must be written down. We talked about that. This is in the whys, okay? You must be, what do you want to give up? What do you want to, why do you want to achieve these goals? That's key. Well, if I'm making, let's say, for instance, your goal is to make $10,000 a month. If I'm making $10,000 a month, here's what I can provide for my son, for my daughter, for my mom, whatever. Why do you got to achieve that goal? Okay, write that down. Okay, must have an action plan to achieve the goal. Must have an action plan and work the plan. So your action plan should be, how many hours are you going to dedicate to it a week? How many presentations are you going to do daily and monthly and weekly? Here's the thing. Remember the 8-point system. The 8-point system is perfect for daily activity, for your DMO, daily method of operation. The 8-point system, that's what it's designed for, guys. So that's where you apply it, okay? Must have an action to achieve the goal, a plan to achieve the goal. Think about and look at your goal every day. Follow up with your goal and your why. So whatever it is you're looking to achieve, guys, pretend like it's that first girl, for the ladies, you know, for the first boy or the first girl that you ever cared about. Does somebody have to remind you to think about them? No. Exactly. So guess what? That's how you should fall in love with your wives. You should be obsessed about it. Make it a burning desire. This is what I want to achieve. And you should think about it without having to remind you. If it's not that strong, it's going to be very tough for you to go out there and achieve those things. Does that make sense, guys? Yeah. If you read the book, Think and Grow Rich, it talks about a burning desire. It's not just like I want. It doesn't say burning want. Does that make sense, guys? It doesn't just say desire. It's a burning desire. You have to fall in love with those things that you want to achieve. Number 4, massive action. AOMA. All out massive action. You got to go out there and work. Now, to be more specific, your level of success is equal to your level of skill multiplied by your level of action. Write that down. Your level of success is equal to your level of skill versus your level of action. Jim Rohn talks about this, and he does a very good job of this, where he says, when I was new, I would make up in numbers what I lacked in skill. Remember that? Yes. That's what this means. Your level of skill versus your level of multiplied by your level of action. He says, there's a perfect example. He says, if I could talk to 10 and get 1, and you could talk to 10 and get 9, and we have a 30-day contest, I will beat you. Oh, come on. Good thing is that we know how to fix it.